showtime. Dynamite download.
Dynamite Download, your home for all positive coverage with all elite wrestling.
You guys, positive energy.
This reality, like, it is me. Like,
Who let this guy in here?
This is what pro wrestling's supposed to feel like.
I'm saying I have a better record than Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, and now I'm going to have to wrestle them.
I've never seen someone able to break down, like, wrestling like he does.
I said, Mariah May said who?
Because I'm so driven. And I'm so moved to like what I want to do.
Versus Brian Keith match.
It's awesome. That's so cool. You've got like these creepy-ass dudes.
Oldest ride, longest line.
I was like deep diving into like cults.
My real story does connect with a lot of people.
I never say never about anything.
Yeah.
Back to do an interview with those guys. You know why? Because they spread positivity about AEW.
Welcome to Dynamite Download.
Welcome to Dynamite Download Special Mission Pro Control Center. Of course, I am Mind Runner, and with me are my two other members of the Dynamite Club Gold, Miss Courtney and Brent the Brain Ross. What's going on?
What's up?
Y'all feeling okay? Are y'all feeling okay? I'm feeling a little bit hot. It's getting like maybe I have to open a window, get the check the temperature here because it's really getting hot in here. It could be because our guest at this time is Mission Pro Superstar and recent hybrid School of Wrestling graduate, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest at this time is...
Kalientita, la chica más picosa. Kalientita. 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 La chica más picosa. Kalientita. 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 La chica más picosa.
Calientita es la chica más picosa. Chuletes feroces, petean espantosa. Te estás metiendo con picante y una brutal patada y a la luna.
Calientita.
Todo vale en el rico amigo. Recuerda, no soy tu amigo.
Calientita.
Tu spicy pollo taco. 1, 2, 3. Estás volada al techo.
Calientita. 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 La chica más picosa. Calientita. 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 La chica más picosa.
And there she is, La Chica Más Picosa, Kalientita, a.k.a. Cali. Hey, what's going on? Woo!
I'm so sorry, guys. It just happens. Okay, I know everybody's feeling the heat right now. It's a thing. You got to get used to it. But I'm
gonna run up my power bill here. I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm sorry, man. You should have been prepared.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Dynamite Download Special Mission Pro Control Center. We're so excited to chat with you because it's hard to believe for somebody that's only 19. It's only been a wrestler for such a short amount of time. You come across as such a veteran. Very cool. And I must first apologize for the terrible Spanish of that rapper that did that introduction. I don't know who that was, but we're gonna fire him. You'll never do Spanish voiceovers again.
It's okay, man. It's okay. You don't have to apologize. I hear a lot of bad Spanish, actually. So
very good. Well, perhaps it's the thought that counts.
yeah, of course. I always appreciate that sometimes.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I know we got a lot of cool questions for you. We got the chat ready to go. If you're in the chat, you got a question for Kalientita, light it up, but make sure you put at least either a chili pepper, a fire, or some kind of heat emoji with your question, or we're just going to move back. Yeah. And Courtney, you were going to kick off with, you were dying. There was the first question you wanted to kick off. Go ahead.
All right. Nice to meet you, by the way, Callie. I'm Courtney.
Nice to meet you.
My question is, how has your transition from referee to wrestler been? Can you give us a little bit background of how you made that decision?
Of course. So I made my first referee debut back in like November 2022. And it was like a super short match, maybe 3 minutes. I was scared. I looked like a little child. The whole crowd was chanting, "Whose child is this?" So disrespectful. Little did they know, okay, that a superstar was in that ring.
Right.
But that pretty much came up from my coach, Chris Marvel. At the time, they were short on refs, and he thought it would be really cool to see a female ref, and you always want the ref to be a little smaller to make the wrestler look like the biggest superstar in the world. And I was tiny. I was going to make anybody look big.
Mm-hmm.
And although I was scared, I took on the opportunity, and it took me places. I mean, I was getting referee spots right and left, and then I ended up at Mission Pro, which was such a blessing. And thanks to that, Mission Pro kept in touch with me. They kept in touch with my coach. And as soon as they saw I made my debut, they asked him, like, "Hey, man, is she ready for Mission Pro?" And he said, "Oh, yeah." And, thankfully, that's kind of how it happened. They got to know me as the ref, as the person working anything Mission Pro wanted. And, as soon as I was ready, Mission Pro said, "Okay, we want her," thankfully.
Big time. I can understand that. And as a ref, you kind of you do understand the business. You get a great inside view. And a lot of times, like, I've heard people give like Aubrey Edwards flack, Bryce Rumsberg flack. Referees are as much a part of the performance, the presentation as anything else. And in fact, in a lot of ways, they have to make sure they have to pay attention to so many things, including the time and maybe messages from the back in some cases. And so almost like that, do you feel like that was almost like I don't want to say trial by fire, but almost like a great way to start your wrestling career is to come from that perspective?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I was kind of tossed in there. And yeah, I had to learn on the spot. I had to learn, wrestlers communicating with me or knowing what like the producer wants and making sure I'm out of the shots. Like it's actually so much, and you're stressed out, but at the same time, you got to focus on the match and you can't pay attention to the fans. So yeah, it's a lot, but it did prepare me for the wrestler and all the chaos that happens at once in the ring. Yeah, it was cool.
All at once, definitely. And I know Brent is our Mission Pro computer brain. I mean, he's wrestling fan, computer brain, but he dethroned me. I demand a rematch. We need to get Emily May back, and we need to do a rematch. But he killed me with the Mission Pro trivia. But you've only been wrestling 19 years. I know, Brent, that's correct, right? She's 19 years old. She's only been wrestling for 19. You've been wrestling 19 years. You're a veteran.
I mean, that's
you and
crazy.
Jazz,
that was a baby.
What I meant was, yeah, I know. You've only been at 19 years old. You've only been wrestling a year. Is that true, Brent? That's according to the data here.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's insane, and especially the way you carry yourself. I've been watching a couple of your promos that you definitely come across. You definitely come across as a veteran wrestler. Like I've seen some like first time wrestlers. They come out and they're kind of like deer in the headlights a little bit. You don't seem like you have that. If you have nerves, we don't see it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What goes into when you're thinking about the promos? Do you think about them ahead of time, or are you riffing?
Oof. I'll be honest with promos. I'm freaking nervous all the time, but I'm someone who definitely grew up in like the AJ Lee era, the CM Punk era. So to me, I've always connected to like the promos that sound natural, that sound like someone's talking to you. And I feel like in a way it did come natural to me because growing up, I was just remembering all these promos and saying them for fun and like all of that, to where I cut my own promos and I think of them and it comes out naturally. And I never, ever want to sound like a robot. I think that is something you see a lot on the indies, unfortunately. And it's a good way to separate myself from everyone else. I always try to make sure my promos, they're crisp, they're different, and that I sound like, that it sounds natural, that it doesn't sound like you said a deer in headlights. I want to sound good, and hopefully I only keep getting better. But that's amazing. Thank you for saying that.
No, you do. Like, we always like, Yeah, Eddie Kingston to me is one of my favorites to hear a promo of, and John Moxley. A lot of those, but they put a lot of, and they've even said this, that they put their heart into it. Like there's there's a little bit of truth in it. It's what they believe, but of course, you're not going to bury your friends and the colleagues in the business. But when it's fun and games, you're cutting these promos, but the audience can tell when you're just reading, when you're rehearsing lines versus actually this is your character. You're feeling that character, that Kalientita, the Chica más Picosa. I have to say that, and every time I say Kalientita, I have to say Chica más Picosa. And I feel like I think that's a huge part of developing a character. And I think so much, I feel like that makes you want to either root for or against that character in the ring more when you've also heard them go through that. We have it's a comment from the chat. This is from the chef. Chef says Kalientita exudes all the confidence. She definitely walks the walk. I think so. I think we can all agree.
Exactly. Thank you.
as a young graduate, a recent graduate of the Hybrid School of Wrestling, we've noticed in our research and watching your history that there seems to be sort of arguably a sibling rivalry between you and an Izzy Moreno a little bit. By your scrunched up face, I can see that. Can you elaborate, explain kind of where you and Izzy are on things? Because it really does seem like it's a rivalry that is probably going to be going on for years.
Oh, for sure. I will gladly tell you the tea on Miss Izzy Moreno. Okay, Miss Girl, keep in mind, I've been at Hybrid for 3 years. It took me a while to graduate. I busted my ass for everything to get my first match. Izzy walks on into the Hybrid School of Wrestling, and she got a match like this in 3 months. That is unacceptable. I was not going to let myself, all my hard work, be stepped on like that. It was terrible. So I made sure if Izzy was getting her match, I was going to be the one to beat her up. And thankfully, it all worked out. I talked my mess. I got myself into a match. And, I've been beefing with Izzy since. We don't see eye to eye. She's all, everything is so, sunshine and rainbows. And Izzy, it's not, she definitely didn't have to go through everything I went through. That's why she thinks everything is the way, she thinks.
Mm-hmm.
But, we can't get along. I can't be a friend with a little crybaby, and I'm going to face her again tomorrow at the Hybrid School of Wrestling. I can't get away from her. So you're right. We'll probably be in each other's way for the rest of our lives. So
is she going to be the Joker to your Batman? I guess, through, you joined cosmically at the hip.
Honestly, I do think so. I do think so.
Interesting you call her crybaby because she got notoriety as a child fan of Bayley back at the NXT Women's Revolution days, and of course the now Mercedes Moné had infamously harassed her, threw her bow tie, her headband away, and it is interesting that she, some would argue that Izzy's had it rough because she has had it really rough because she's had to fight that stigma of the, not necessarily a Nepo baby, but had to fight that child star persona. She had the hot tag with Izzy Moreno for a while, the vlog, and now she, a lot of people rolling their eyes. Like, do you think it's harder for her, or has it been harder for you, or do you kind of look at that as she came in with a privilege where you're like, hey, I've had to really work harder for it?
Well, I definitely, I'm not going to discredit Miss Izzy. She definitely has gone through her stuff, and she's come a long way. Look at the wrestler she is. She's honestly even impressed me. She shut my doubts down.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Hybrid, I think that's just my home. And even though she did work so hard to even get into wrestling training, I took that to heart. It's like, hey, you haven't been here forever, so how come you're getting this before me? In Kalientita's point of view, yes, that was privilege, and I was not going to have it. No, ma'am. I don't care that you're 16. I think I was 18 at the time. I was going to beef with this 16-year-old. So, we're also not that off. So
Yeah, exactly. And you're probably doing her a favor and say, hey, this is reality. Boom. This is
Exactly.
this is the real world. And almost kind of precursor to the lesson I think that we all think Thunder Rosa is trying to teach her now with the slap her around the world. What was your take on the slap her around the world? Were you kind of like, yes, yeah, finally?
Oh yeah, I was watching that in the back and I laughed so hard. I thought it was the coolest, the funniest thing. I think I just became JP's and Thunder Rosa's #1 fan. If they need help, I will gladly be there. Okay. That was a great moment for me. It felt very, good.
Was it did you feel like it was your hand in a little, like you were kind of like there in spirit a little bit?
In spirit, but I really wish that was me. But also I get to hit Izzy every other day, so it's okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about Hybrid School of Wrestling. There seems to be, we've talked a lot with a lot of MPW talent and with Thunder Rosa, and we've talked a lot ourselves about how Mission Pro is destination wrestling for women's wrestling. How it's been a huge asset in elevating women's wrestling. It's been a huge part of what arguably women's wrestling is kind of in a renaissance. I wanted to get your ideas on that, but Hybrid School of Wrestling seems to be kind of a pool of where the next generation talent's coming from, in Texas, of course, and other schools, but like there seems to be like a Hybrid School of Wrestling to Mission Pro pipeline. And then you see like Maddie Rinkowski, Ren Sinclair.
There we go.
You've got Willow, Sky Blue. You've got a number of of Mission Pro regulars. You've got Kylan King. Tiffany Nieves is now going NWA as well. There's a number of Mission Pro talent that it's springboarding them into larger companies, if you will. Do you feel like hybrids, tell us a little bit about your experience with hybrid, and do you see that as and Mission Pro elevating women's wrestling and elevating wrestling in general, and just kind of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for sure. To tell you a little bit about hybrid, it's located in San Antonio, same place as Mission Pro, so they've kind of had a little friendship. But yeah, hybrid is no joke. Okay, you really have to be tough, and I mean really tough, to make it past all the levels, because we have levels. Have to make it past all the coaches, all the cardio, to become a wrestler. And not many people get past hybrid. Like, so many give up. It's crazy. Right now, thankfully, we have had every female grad from hybrid has been amazing, starting with Ren Sinclair, who is now on NXT. So proud of her, love her, very huge inspiration to me. We have Gia Michelle, who's also on TV. She does Women of Wrestling. And we have Key Vibes, Heart and Soul of San Antonio. So she's cool. You have me. I mean, I think I'm the best one out of all of them. Not biased at all. So,
I don't detect any lies. Any lies there.
Izzy, I would say, is an honorary member of hybrid. And look at her. I mean, she's not my favorite, but she's killing it. She's making hybrid proud. She's making us look amazing. And I always respect someone that can do that for us. And we still have so many more up and coming women that it's crazy. The talent is just insane. You think I'm this good, just wait till you see the rest. It's not that good, but either way, they're pretty good.
Awesome.
And with Mission Pro, it's amazing, the platform they give women, the platform they give up and starting wrestlers. Like you said, I'm only 10 months into wrestling, or is it 9? One of those.
It's 19 years. Come on.
Oh, it's 19 years, guys. I've been wrestling since the womb. How did I forget?
Exactly.
But no, honestly, like, for them to give platforms to people as new as me, and like you said, everyone taking off. Tiffany Nieves, Sky Blue. I mean, Roxy was on MPW.
Yeah.
Cora Jade was on MPW. JC Jane, Tia Hale, like all these people who you see on TV now. And Mission Pro was a way for that. I think I'm just so grateful and blessed that I am continuously used, and I try to make the most out of it, because who knows where this can lead me, and who will one day see me, be impressed by me, and I'll take off then. So I'm just very blessed for Mission Pro and hybrid together.
I think we all agree it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when on with you there. Do we want to? Do you guys have a question for her before we go to our Insta Insanity, the first time segment?
Yeah, I have a quick question for you there. I'm a big fan of Casey Blackrose.
Yes.
Have you did any training with him at all?
Oh my gosh, have I? Casey, I think from the moment I moved up to the grads ring, that's where you really get your introduction, which means you get your ass beat. Casey, no hesitation, didn't care. I was half his size, half his age. He beats the crap out of me till this day, but he's made me very tough. We fight all the time. I say one smart thing and we're in the ring fighting. But I'll be honest, he is one of my favorite teachers. Besides my coaches, Casey has taught me so much. And even when I'm being a little crybaby and I'm like, okay, that hurts, he pushes me and, teaches me to take more and be tougher. And Casey is someone I will forever be grateful with. I'm very glad you guys are acknowledging him. He'll be very happy to hear that.
Oh, man.
But I've had the chance.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. The matches I've seen with him, man, he just looks so crisp in the ring.
Yeah.
So powerful too. It just I just enjoyed all the action he provides, and that's awesome that you've got to work with him because he just seems so great.
He does.
Yes, I love him.
Shep, big props to Casey Blackrose. Big fan as well. He's awesome. Maybe could we say he's kind of the Kalientita's older brother, kind of de facto would you argue that, or cousin maybe?
You know what? Cousin, something like that. We're somewhat related because we're always arguing, we're always fighting. But it helps both of us, I think.
Really, I'm going to ask you then too. Would you consider a mixed tag with Casey Blackrose? And who would you want to face either at Hybrid or Mission Pro? I mean, would you want to face a JP Harlow and somebody, or perhaps somebody else, since you're kind of a fan of his?
Oh man, you see, I would want to face JP, but I know he's a hard hitter. He's a really, really smart man in the ring. Mm-hmm. He would probably just run circles around me and outsmart me. So I don't know if that's the smartest option to go for JP.
Gotcha.
But as long as I have Casey on my side, I think we could take on anyone. I think right now my biggest mixed tag feud so far has been Izzy and David Kidd. So as long as it's not them, I'll take anybody but them. And
been
me
there,
and Casey can kick
done
their butt.
that. Moving on.
Please, yes, thank you.
Well, without further ado, I think it's time for us to debut a new segment in our Dynamite Download Mission Pro Control Center, and you are the first to go through Insta Insanity.
Welcome! It's Insta Insanity!
All right, this is again totally not ripping off. This is totally not ripping off Hot Ones, Sean Evans. 1,000 apologies if this feels like we're ripping off your Explain That Graham. But here we go. We're gonna go with Insta Insanity, and what this is, we're gonna go through. These are from your Instagram, Callie, and we're gonna show you we selected some of our favorite pictures, and we want to know from you the story behind them. And again, this isn't a tea spilling thing. Yeah, you can spill all the tea you want. Feel free. But we want to just get the stories behind compelling Instagram photos. I'm not sure who spelled it. Is that the right spelling of compelling? Well, we'll just move on. All right, this first one we really like. This looks like, tell us the story behind this photo. This is actually pinned, I think, on your Instagram.
Yes, it is. This was November 2nd of 2023. It's the day I graduated. That is the head coach of the Hybrid School of Wrestling, Chris Marvel. And yet probably I cried. I can't even tell if you can see in the picture, but I cried my eyes out like a baby. That's 3 years of hard work from a 16-year-old little girl, me, who is still a junior in high school, by the way, to now this 19-year-old Kalientita pro wrestler. I don't think you can see it, but I have it hanged up on my wall next to my wrestlers.
I can see. Yep.
One of the best days of my life.
You look like you're just on cloud nine right there. All the hard work paying off. Do you feel like the 3 years you put in versus getting it handed to you right away, do you think that helped you become a more well-rounded wrestler today?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I used to always be like, man, when is it my turn? When is it my turn? But looking back, it's like, because of how long it took, it made me have more time to really put myself together and create the best version of myself, that whenever it was my turn, no one was going to doubt me. No one was going to question me. Like, so now 3 years later, nobody can doubt me. I'm not going to allow anybody to doubt me.
They're wasting their time if they're messing with themselves if they doubt you. Here we go. Next photo right here.
Ooh, this is one of the most recent.
Yes.
That's me in Philadelphia at the WWE Superstore. I'm the biggest action figure person. Okay, well, not the biggest, but like I'm getting there. I'll get to Matt Cardona's level one day.
Gotcha.
But I went figure hunting and I found some really cool stuff. And that's a little
some rares and chases. Did you get some chases or rares?
Well, for me, the wrestlers I look for the most are diva figures because those are so hard to find. I guess, they just didn't make that much. So I did find a first time in the line, Alicia Fox.
Wow.
Awesome. Yes, I was so excited. I got a Cora Jade and a Stephanie McMahon. Those are more recent, but I was so excited. I'm a big divas, women's wrestlers, like figure hunter. So that was in Philadelphia just a few days ago.
Jazz wears Jeremy Padower. When are we gonna get the Kalientita figure? Is that a bucket list right there, Callie?
Oh, it's a huge bucket list. The day I get my action figure, I made it. That's it. I can retire. Just kidding, but like almost.
Well, we hope you don't retire when you get your action figure. But we do hope you get your action figure very soon. I think that's inevitable, but that's fantastic. And that's I think that's cool that I hope you don't lose that action figure action figure craze, scratch that figure itch, as Matt Cardona says. Perhaps you can get on the podcast with him and talk about it.
Dude, that would be the coolest thing.
All right, do you prefer the old bendy, like the bendy style, or do you like the more articulated wrestlers?
I like the more articulated. I feel like it's just what I've grown up around my entire life, and I really, really love when a wrestler, like an action figure, is just so detailed and it looks just like the wrestler. I will stare at it for like minutes and minutes and then go on about my day, but like I just love a really detailed action figure.
Like when it really looks like Miss Rhea, Mommy.
That's a cool one. See, I don't have that one.
That's one of my favorites. All right. Next, I kind of put two pictures on one page, but I kind of feel like they both have a lot to do with each other. What's the story with these two pictures? I kind of recognize these ladies. They look very familiar.
Do you? I don't know. They look, I'm kidding. This was at Philadelphia, of course, last weekend, which is crazy. It's already been a week.
Wow.
And my school, Hybrid School of Wrestling, we were able to work with WrestleCon, and with that came helping all the amazing superstars that were there. I was very blessed to get Trish Stratus out of all people for a moment, and then I got to work with Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh, wow.
Lita was there the whole time, so I just got to be with all the cool superstars. Nick Nemeth was on next to me. It was like, and for me, like, I wasn't around for like Lita and Trish's time, but they are still women that I went back, did my research, and Trish Stratus is one of my absolute favorites. I think she did so much for women's wrestling. Same with Lita.
Yeah.
I think I just connected a little more with Trish, and I did get an 8x10 from her too, a little signature for me. But it was a great moment. They're like the sweetest humans ever, which I didn't expect because, not that they ever come off bad on TV or anything. They're just like, they're legends. They're superstars. They don't need to give their time to anyone. And they were the nicest. They were so sweet. They gave me all the time in the world. And I will never, ever forget this moment. It was amazing. I look like a child. I am a child, but
look at your expression though. You just like, you're just like, ah. I mean, I'd be like that too, but I mean, this is like, and what you said about both Trish and Lita, they were the original, like they really made a huge difference in women's wrestling because at the time, in fact, I love Trish Stratus's story because she started out, I mean, she was managing a team called TNA, let's go figure, I mean, it can't get very much more obvious than that. but she came up in that bra and panties match time, which again, women want to celebrate their bodies, go for it. We're not against bra and panty matches, but that was all they were showing on WWE. But Trish Stratus was one of the first to kind of transform out of that. She went from the valet to a solid wrestler in the ring. And I remember watching that transformation from her. It almost is like the view of women's wrestling in mainstream changed with that. And then Lita, of course, the other side, Lita, it's like, here comes this, like, she's like a Hardy Boy, but she's a girl. It's like, it's so cool. It's like, it was so cool to see her come out with Team Extreme, and just the watching a female wrestler do the hurricanranas and moonsaults and stuff was just killer. I mean, so if you had to tag with one of them, who do you pick?
I mean, I love them both, but like I said, I connected a little more with Trish growing up, so it would be an honor to tag with Trish and then wrestle Lita. I think, what? That would be really cool. Have both in one.
So, all right, we're booking the match. I hope everybody's paying attention. Hunter, whoever, hey, let's do it for Mission Pro. Kalientita and Trish Stratus versus Lita and Izzy.
Oh, we gotta find Lita a better maybe.
Or London Dior. We'll put London or Maya World or somebody. There you go. A little bit better.
No, I'm
all right,
just kidding. I'll take Izzy.
All right, and this one made me laugh out loud. This is a before and after set here. We've got look at the difference on the left. We've got these mean chicas. Is this the Chola Brigade here? What is? And then this is an after picture on the right.
Oh yes, these are my sisters. Kalientita and the Cholas. We ride together. We beat people up together. In this case, we weren't so lucky. Keep in mind we're a little new. We might have bit off more than we could chew. And we definitely got beat up a little bit. That's the after for me, what was a 30-minute match, they lasted about 15 minutes, which I'm really, really proud of them for. But dang, that was, I remember that day like crazy.
This was a battle royal or something, right? Or like
it was a Royal Rumble type match. And yeah.
And you went 30 minutes? You were like were you number 2?
I was number 2. I was number 2. And I was the longest person in that Rumble. Yeah, for a debut Rumble, come on. So
you're kind of the Shawn Michaels of it. You've got is that the record for the longest in there? And was it River City? What was it? River City Wrestling?
Yes, it was.
So you might have we got to ask. We got to get Cage Match to update and say if you were
for real. Come on,
the record holder, the longest. Hey, there you go, Emily May. There's your Mission Pro. Who had the longest battle royal? We need some battle royals at Mission Pro. I mean, we've had some scrambles and stuff, but I'd love to see Mission Pro do like a Royal Rumble where you don't know who's coming out when, and and bring back some veterans. Like, can you imagine like Kylan King or La Rosa Negra or have some folks coming? I'd love to see like JP Harlow by himself in the ring talking smack, and then Holiday come out.
Oh, he'd be out. He wouldn't last in that ring. Not 2 minutes.
Awesome. To ask a little bit, I want to ask you a little bit too about the Chola army here. Mm-hmm. Could they accompany you to this match that you've got coming up on April 20th against London Dior? Is it possible they might help you out with this?
Well, I'll be honest, the Cholas, they have their own show on April 20th. So unfortunately, they can't be with me, but it's okay because I think, come on, I got London Dior by myself. Let's be real, guys.
Yes.
Okay. Easy.
Now she's got some guns. I will say that. She's got some in-ring skills. She was flexing on her interview with Emily May. I mean, she pulled up her arms like this and flexed, and we were like, whoa, you might have to register those. But I not to tip my hat, because I'm going to be on with Emily May on Tuesday for the preview show with my picks. But I gotta go with Kalientita on this match. And this is
Thank
not
you.
just because you're here. Your experience. I watched your match with Kai Vibes, and brutal, very brutal. A lot of the stuff a lot of your in-ring experience, and I think that's something that's really going to come into play. What is your, without revealing all your secrets, because I know you got to keep some close to the chest, but what is your strategy going in to face London Dior?
Okay, well, I've been watching a lot, and I mean a lot of London Dior. She's definitely a strong girl. I think she might be the strongest I'm facing so far, like my biggest opponent. So, working, and like people like Casey, I have a lot of big monsters in my wrestling school that I'm like, okay, let's see, let's try something. But, I have, for a moment, I have been in the ring with London Dior. It was in the Rumble, so we shared a little moment together, and I learned a little bit from the stuff she gave me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking this time around, she's not just going to toss me around. That's not what's going to happen. I'm prepared this time, and maybe I got to add a little speed to it, but I think I can get London. I can get her.
Nice. Very nice. I've noticed too in the chat a lot of times we get some of your fans saying, "Oh, Kalientita doesn't lie, cheat, or steal," but there almost seems to be like a winky emoji with that. Are you? I mean, again, especially coming from a ref, kind of circling back to Courtney's first question. As a ref, you also not only do you know the rules, you also know which rules you could probably get away with. Kind of drawing on the spirit of Eddie Guerrero, is there a possibility of Kalientita lying, cheating, or stealing to get the win? Is there a code that you kind of follow?
I mean, one of my favorite things Eddie Guerrero has ever said is, "You're not trying unless you're cheating." So, you know, and him being a big Hispanic superstar, big influence in my life, I got to take from the man, continue his legacy. He did so much for us, and the least I could do is lie, cheat, and steal. I mean, he would be so proud. So proud.
I would love, as an Eddie fan, there's compilations of his best moments too, but one of my the favorite thing he does is when he does the chair fake out, where he takes the ref is turned around, he takes the chair, he hits it on the mat, and then he throws it at the opponent, and then he lays on the ground. So when the ref turns around, the opponent's there holding the chair. Is there a possibility we might see a variation of that on April 20th?
There could possibly be. I don't know how we'll get a chair in there, but there could be a chance. It's the biggest show of the year. Why not? Huge. Give him a moment. That could be a cool moment. We'll see. You have to be there to watch.
Yeah, you have to be there. Or if you can't make it, Title Match Network. But it's worth the drive. Road trip. San Antonio is beautiful this time of year. Come on.
Beautiful.
Get out there. Get those tickets. We can't do it for this thing, but we're planning we're gonna plan a road trip for a Mission Pro event at some point, because we're all spread out all over the country, but we want to have a meeting and go to San Antonio. So we'll let you all know when that's coming. Hopefully you're still, even when you're signed your AEW or WWE contract, you're still doing Mission Pro shows, Hopefully you're still gracing us with your presence in those Mission Pros.
Yes, exactly. We'll see if the Texas fans deserve that. We'll see.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. You got to see. They got to come out for you. Mission Pro Mania is sounding like it's the biggest, definitely this year, but of all Mission Pro shows, this is really shaping up to be one of their biggest events. I mean, it's coming with that prestige of WrestleMania. And you were in Philly for WrestleMania weekend. Is there anything you're bringing with you, or is there anything that Mission Pro is adopting that WrestleMania has? Is it got that same feel for you? Does this feel like a destination event?
It definitely does. I've been doing, I think, the past 2 Mission shows, and for some reason this one just does feel bigger. It could be, Thunder making her return to Mission Pro, which is pretty freaking crazy. I'm so excited for that. It could be that like everything feels like the stakes are a little higher. Like you have to win. If you really want to prove yourself, if you want to move on and do greater, bigger things at Mission Pro, this show is where you really want to win out of all shows. And it does have that big Mania feel, and I'm really, really excited. I have new gear. I have everything. Like, I'm just so excited. It's going to be a big show. I'm very excited.
Your new gear, are you going to come out with some of the Chola attire, or are you putting that behind you and you're going to really light it up? Are we expecting some mass Picosa gear here?
It's definitely a lot more Picosa. You guys are going to love it. I'm obsessed with it. I will say the Chola stuff, I love my Chola sisters. I will forever, guide them, be with them. But Kalientita is herself. Kalientita is her own superstar. With the Cholas, I'll be with them. But yeah, no, this show is all about me. How it should be. All about me.
Well, Timberlake had to say goodbye to NSYNC, and
exactly.
DX couldn't stay together forever. So exactly. There's no hard feelings, but you gotta go for you. You gotta make what's for you happen. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're excited. Courtney, do you have another question for Kalientita?
Yes, I do. Callie, what message would you give young ladies who look up to Callie, and what message of hope would you give the little girls that look up to you?
Oh man, I don't think I've ever been asked this so far. But definitely I feel like be patient. Be patient in whatever you do with life. When things get hard, when things feel impossible, and I mean crazy impossible, just keep pushing. Trust yourself, trust your dreams, your goals. Surround yourself with positive people who believe in you as well, and keep working, because there is literally nothing in this world that is impossible. If you really want it, you're gonna get it. And I just hope every little girl in the world, whatever dream they have, that they go chase it and that they make it come true, no matter how difficult, because life can get real difficult. I'm sure you all know, but you got to keep chasing.
Absolutely. Brent, what you got for Kalientita?
I think if I remember correctly, your finish is some sort of underhook DDT.
Yes, and I suck at explaining it, but yeah, it's like an underhook face plant almost. Like we both fall forward.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. How'd you come up with that? I haven't really seen that kind of variation of it before.
Oh, nice. I could just lie and say I made it up myself, but I won't do that. I won't do that to you. I'll be honest, Casey Blackrose gave me the idea of the move, which he saw Seth Rollins do on this one random ass I was gonna say Mission Pro Monday Night Raw from like 2019 that I don't think anyone has ever seen. So thanks to him, I found this cool move, and I don't have to pick anyone up, so it works for me.
It's really unique. I really like it a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What are some moves that you'd like to try that you haven't tried yet, or are there some moves that you're a little bit nervous, like maybe some high flyers or some submissions, or are there some moves that you're looking to try?
There is a few. You might see a few new ones at Mission Pro Mania, because I have been trying out some stuff. I've been trying to get over my fear of the top rope, so we're getting there, because I do want to one day, how are you going to be Hispanic and not going to be flying off the top rope? So
yeah, you got to give Eddie. You got to give Eddie his credit,
A little shimmy, yeah. I got to live up to that hype, but we're working on that. So, but I do have a few new moves that I'm really excited for that I haven't tried.
But
y'all will see it.
We'll see exactly. Wait, you're not going to tell your whole story and plan here, and where Linda Dior can take notes and prepare for it.
Exactly.
Building off of what Brink's question, what do you have a name for that? Is front underhook? Is it underhook DDT? Do we have is it the spicy picante? What is there a name for it?
I'm still trying to think of the perfect name for it. Right now, it's just called the heat check.
Okay.
But I have a different finisher that I've only used once. Didn't work, but I'm going to keep trying it. I have that called the heat stroke. So you know, I'm still working on my names because I need them to pop out and stand out. I have chili peppers. What is that? A spice kick, but we're working on a really cool name. I just really need to find it.
Well, hey, in the chat or perhaps on the comments, let us know what you would name Kalientita's new move. And hey, if it's good, she might call it that. That might be what it becomes.
I will.
The spicy. We'll come up. We'll brainstorm as well and come up with some ideas that we might be able to brainstorm with you. You know, you mentioned, of course, this is Thunder Rosa's return to Mission Pro Ring. She's pulling double duty because, I mean, she's wrestling Lady Bird on Saturday. Then she's getting her title back because she never lost it. She's getting her title back from Toni Storm on Sunday. But Thunder is somebody that is circling your radar a little bit. And there's always been a match with Thunder Rosa is kind of the Thunder Rosa badge of approval. It's like the Thunder rub, if you will. Like I discovered Mission Pro because when Thunder came to, before she even signed with AEW, she was in NWA, and she was defending the NWA title on AEW television with Hikaru Shida. That's when I first discovered Thunder. But I discovered so many wrestlers because of who she would face, like on a dark match. She would bring in Maddie. She would bring in all these folks. So I've always felt like there's this Thunder Rosa rub, like, and these future stars, if they have a match with Thunder, eventually, it's like she straps a rocket to them. You find them later. Obviously, Thunder's somebody you want to face. What context would that be, and how would you what would be the promo or setup or booking for a match with Kalientita versus Thunder Rosa?
Oh man, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I think that by itself would be such an honor. I've had the privilege of training with Thunder a little bit just right before she made her big AEW comeback. Very, very challenging for sure. I know I have to, when it comes to Thunder, I got to meet her at her level, and maybe that could be me trying to get to Thunder's level.
There you go.
We could. Yeah,
like
but I hope one day it happens. I really do. It'd be an honor.
I'm sure it'll happen. I mean, I think she thinks very highly of you. We can tell, and we're excited for that to happen. Of course, it'll be tough because she's kind of has your mindset again. Being kind of with the whole thing with Izzy and JP Harlow and whatnot. So that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah.
We recently chatted with Carolina. I've heard it both ways. Ooh. And she's been kind of clapping back with Tiffany Nieves and some of the flack she's been getting as GM. Apparently, a lot of people have been upset with her, some of her decisions. But she kind of clapped back on that and really, really explained her side of things. One of the things that impressed Courtney and I and Brent, everybody, is how dedicated she is to Mission Pro. And the future she sees. She's mentioned stuff like a reality show, pitch stuff like more frequent, not just promos, but frequent segments on the Mission Pro YouTube channel and on Insta and on other social medias. So I'm kind of thinking you as Mission Pro is kind of your platform at this point with Hybrid. Where would you like to see Mission Pro? What's next for Mission Pro as you grow with the platform?
Now that you mentioned that Carolina said like a reality show, I mean, that would be really cool. I feel like it would be so awesome if Mission Pro could at some point get like even a small TV deal, something where we can, where MPW is just more accessible, where the women can shine more and get more eyes on them. I think that would be really cool. Title match does a lot for us, though, of course.
They do, yes.
But it's always cool to maybe try to reach out more people, I think. That's where I'd like to see Mission Pro go.
I think that'd be awesome. The real divas of Hybrid School, or maybe not divas, but like the real. I don't know. Well, there's a good term for that or something. But that would be pretty cool. See, put all the young Mission Pro talent in a house together and
drama.
Drama. Like, Izzy, you ate the last protein bar.
How dare you? Who touched
Yep.
my hot Cheetos? Yeah.
Hot Cheetos. Who ate the hot Cheetos? And you see London over there going, I don't know. I don't know who that was. And then it was probably JP Harless sneaking in. But
oh no, he's not allowed.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he will not be allowed. Well, we're very excited for you. Thank you so much for your time. Before we go, you faced a lot of opponents: Kai Vibes, Izzy, Casey Blackroach. You've had a lot. You've got London Dior coming up, which is going to be a challenge. And we're not going to lie, it's going to be a challenge. But I personally feel like you're coming out on top. But we'll see.
Thank you.
But you have a very intense challenge right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Fast Five.
Oh my God.
All right, these are 5 quick questions and 5 quick answers. Callie, just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. Try not to think about it too much. Just blurt it out. It's very, very just, like very Freudian slip, if you will. But we're gonna fire 5 questions to you. I've got the first one. Courtney and then Brent are gonna alternate with their questions, and then you will have survived the Fast Five. So my first question for you, Kalientita, La Chica más Picosa, what is the spiciest thing you've ever eaten, and how did you react?
The spiciest thing I've ever eaten. Dang.
Like, did you ever do like the 1 chip challenge, or was there ever something that just burned your tongue, made you cry?
Okay, I just recently tried Dave's hot chicken. I tried their hot level because I didn't think anything of it. I took a bite and I didn't eat the rest. So that's pretty recent.
This isn't part of the questions, but just to build off of that, when you eat your spicy foods, do you prefer hot or do you prefer more of like the spice? Because like I don't like the super hot stuff. I like it to taste like a jerk chicken or a curry or something like that.
I usually go for hot. So I was really shocked that they lied to me. They did something, okay? They probably saw me and they were like, oh, Chica más Picosa, let's add more spice. No, I wanted hot. I feel like I got extra spicy.
There you go. There you go. All right, Courtney, question 2.
All right. What's the weirdest thing you have ever eaten, Callie?
Oh, weirdest thing I've ever eaten.
And we've had some weird responses to this too. So feel free to say.
Oh man. Oh, you guys have hard questions.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What's the weirdest thing?
Or most exotic, or
Yeah.
Dang.
Or
I don't know. I wish I had something cool.
Has there ever been something that you didn't think you'd like, but you tried it and you liked? Like you thought, ooh, and then you tried it and
probably
it was like, wow.
mushroom. I freaking hated mushroom my whole entire life until I took a bite. And I said, that's not that bad.
Well, it does depend on what kind of mushroom
weird.
too. Depends on the kind of mushroom. You eat some mushrooms, you might have a little after effect there. All right, Brent, question 3.
So we're talking a lot about eating. So if you could go to dinner with any celebrity, where would you go and who would it be?
Oh my gosh. I would have to go with someone like AJ Lee, one of my heroes, and I would take her to the most best popular Mexican restaurant I can find and just eat up some nachos or something. Because that's my go-to meal. We love a good Mexican restaurant over here.
I highly recommend her book. Crazy is My Superpower, by the way.
I have that book.
Great. I got the audio. It's read by her. Great book. All right, back to you, Courtney. Question number 4.
Okay. Who has inspired you throughout your life?
Okay, this one's pretty easy. My wrestling hero is Dean Ambrose / John Moxley. He changed my entire life. He means the world to me, and I haven't had the honor of meeting him, but one day I'll tell him how much he means to me, and he won't care, but I will.
This is how he'll say thank you. And that's probably that's the most meaningful. And to you, that is probably a lot, from him. you know, we've because we got a Dynamite download when we were at all out a couple of years ago. We got a compliment from MJF. This was his compliment.
This podcast is, quite frankly, the drizzling shit, if I'm being quite honest.
And coming from MJF, that's a compliment.
I mean, yeah, you know, sometimes you just take what you can get.
I want to piggyback on this. Doesn't count as one of the questions, but just piggybacking off Courtney, non-wrestler who inspires you.
Oh man, probably my best friends. I know people usually go with family, but I have the two most supportive best friends since 7th grade, and through every rough moment in this crazy wrestling journey that I've been on, they've been there. They've picked me up. They're till this day. If I'm ever nervous to do something, they go with me. They never leave me alone. And their names are Aaron and Nathan. They mean the world to me, and I'll let them know I shouted them out. But them,
Aaron and Nathan, awesome,
yeah.
Awesome. And question number 5, right?
If you could see any band or artist live that you haven't seen, who would you go see?
Oh my gosh, a dream of mine is Bad Bunny. I miss him every time he comes here, but I want to see that man live so bad. I love every single album, every single song. I need to see Bad Bunny live one day. Or Shakira. That's another one.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, didn't Shakira have a new album or something coming out, or is it
yes,
already
she
out?
just dropped one. She just dropped one, right?
She was on Hot Ones recently. Not that I watched that program too much and steal their ideas. Not at all. Not at all. I don't do that at all. But yeah, she was on there recently, and she had kind of a similar experience to your hot take there earlier with the wings there. Well, congratulations, Kalientita. You have literally smoked the Fast Five. Excellent job. You've also debuted the Instant Insanity. We loved going through those Instagram photos.
You're
so
welcome.
Now it is promo time. If you can, in the camera, what message do you have for London Dior for this coming a week from tomorrow, April 20th, Mission Pro Mania London? This is what you got coming for you.
Well, London, I hope you're getting very prepared. Took you a while to respond to my message. I don't think you're that busy. You're not that booked and busy, but however, I will see you April 20th, and I'm going to use you as a stepping stone to continue on my rise of becoming a top talent at Mission Pro Wrestling. So enjoy your one-off debut because it's not going to last long, London. You still look great, though. Very luxurious. Love that.
Yeah. She's going to look luxurious as you beat her ass in the ring.
At least, that's the least.
Kalientita, on behalf of Courtney, Brent, and the entire staff at Dynamite Download and everybody at Mission Pro, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to exit with, once again, here is Kalientita, La Chica Más Picosa.
I steal. What? I steal. Yo. I steal.
Kalientita, la chica más picosa. Kalientita. 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 La chica más picosa. Kalientita. 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 La chica más picosa.
Kalientita es la chica más picosa. Chuletes feroces, petean esponjosa. Te estás metiendo con picante y una brutal patada y a la luna.
Kalientita.
Todo vale en el rico amigo. Recuerda, no soy tu amigo.
Kalientita.
Tu spicy boy ataca. 1, 2, 3. Estás parada al techo.
Kalientita.